Kissing University, the place where the best kissers in the world get their training. So obviously, boys, girls just want to have fun. They like crap like this because it builds intrigue. It makes them laugh. This is why they read books like 50 Shades of Grey and Daniel Steele novels, because they like that kind of passion.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man podcast. The only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
What is up, you champions? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP, the Uniform Mike Papa, the Unapologetic Man podcast. And today, boys, I got a good one for you. Kissing University, an awesome gambit to text with a girl, or you could even do it in person to line up the first kiss and or build intrigue around the fact that you guys already kissed. This is such an awesome attraction building gambit that I want you guys to deploy this on either a girl you're about to date who you haven't kissed yet, or a girl who you've already kissed that you can actually text her tonight, this whole sequence. It really builds a lot of attraction. It builds a ton of intrigue. So use it, brothers. This coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I am doing an NLP masterclass. A lot of you guys have heard about this already, but if this is your first time hearing it and or you have procrastinated and haven't gotten your ticket yet, this is literally the last moment. It reminds me of that movie from the 80s called UHF, where that guy from Seinfeld, Kramer, was in it. And he's like, I know a lot of you guys like to wait until the last minute. Well, this is it. It is the last minute. The guy is so funny, man. Absolute comedic genius. But this is it, boys. This is the last minute. I'm going to close down the sales of this thing. I did add some extra spots. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket yet, if you've been procrastinating, if you're the kind of guy who masturbates in the corner in a helmet all day long, or if your dick only gets wet in the shower, if it's so dry it's going to audition for the next movie of Dune, then this is the program that you need. It's an NLP masterclass to remap the belief systems in your head, to remove traumas, to instill massive confidence. Because boys, the way you behave in front of women dictates her entire attraction for you. It's not how you look. It's not how much money you have. It comes from your mannerisms and your tone of voice, which are derived from what? Your belief systems, how much you believe in yourself. So to those of you who have already grabbed your tickets, or to those of you who are going to grab your tickets, I'm going to get your name tattooed right onto my butt, which, by the way, is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Ancient, you ask? Yes, its beauty is timeless. So gentlemen, get your ticket right now. This is the last minute. If you haven't pulled the trigger yet, be a man of action, be masculine, get this ticket. I guarantee you this is going to change your life. And if it doesn't, I will refund every single penny of your money. Click the link in the description below, grab your ticket right now, because again, this is literally the last minute. All right, gentlemen, let's get into Kissing University. So Kissing University is basically a gambit where you jokingly tell her that you are the president, or what I like to say, the chancellor of quote unquote Kissing University, the place where the best kissers in the world get their training. So obviously, boys, girls just want to have fun. They like crap like this because it builds intrigue. It makes them laugh. They like talking about this shit. This is why they read books like 50 Shades of Grey and Daniel Steele novels, because they like that kind of passion. And I, gentlemen, am going to bring you the passion of 1,000 Daniel Steele novels in my masterclass this coming weekend. So make sure to get your ticket. So we're basically pretending, obviously it's bullshit, that we were the chancellor of Kissing University. Now, as you guys probably know by listening to my podcast, when it comes to texting, it's really good to build intrigue. It's good to give her little bits at a time so you don't blow your whole wad all over her face in one fucking gigantic text. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to line up the first kiss, and then you can also use this if you've already kissed her, and I'll explain that in a second. So this is, if you're starting to date her, you guys haven't kissed yet, this is an awesome way to line up that first kiss, especially for some of you guys who are nervous about how to line up the first kiss. You always get in those awkward situations where you're like at her door and it's time to kiss her and it's all awkward and nerdy and you look like a fucking jackass. This is a better way to do it to ensure that you're going to get the kiss with her. So here's how it goes. So let's say you guys are texting. Let's say you've been on a date, or even if you're just texting before your first date, you say this. You say, so Sarah, ... Yes, gentlemen, that's the first text. That's it. This builds a bit of intrigue. This gets the conversation going. It's way better than, again, just blowing your wad and explaining the whole thing in one text. So you say, so Sarah, ... And she's like, yes, Mark. And then you say this, there's something you should know about me, ... Now think about it from your perspective. If you're texting with a girl and she's like, hey, there's something you should know about me, what's that going to do? It's going to build intrigue. It's going to build your curiosity. You're going to want to know what it is that she's alluding to. So she's going to say immediately, what's that? And then you could either say, well, it's kind of a big deal. Are you sure you're ready for it? Or you could jump into it. I had a client the other day tell me, you know, Mark, sometimes when I build intrigue with this one girl, she gets frustrated and says, man, you're always like leading me on and trying to get me to chase. Guys, you have to be socially intelligent and feel out how much you do want to throw the bait out there and try to get her to chase. Statements such as, there's this one thing you do that's so cute, but I don't want to tell you what it is because then you'll stop doing it. If she doesn't react well to that, as my girlfriend Marissa didn't when I threw it out there, she's like, okay, don't tell me then don't use it again. So you have to use these things sparingly. You have to read the girl and see if she buys into it. But for girls who really buy into the chasing, the building intrigue, the mystery, you could say, are you sure you want to know? It's a pretty big deal. If she isn't the kind of girl that buys into that, then you can jump straight into the next line, which is, from 2017 to 2019, I was actually the chancellor of Kissing University. All right, so let's go over the beginning again. First you say, so Sarah. She's like, yes, Mark. There's something you should know about me. What's that? You sure you can handle it? Definitely. Well, from 2017 to 2019, I was actually the chancellor of Kissing University. And she's going to come back and be like, ha, 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 you were, huh? And then you say something to the effect of, yes, and you should know that we only accepted the most elite kissers in the United States. Or if you're in England, Australia, Canada, say your country. And she's like, oh, is that true? And you say, yeah, absolutely. Then you say this, do you think you have what it takes to get into such a prestigious university? Now, obviously, she's going to come back and say, of course I do. Now you're off to the races talking about kissing. Guys often ask me, how do I deploy the third pillar, Mark, in your 4 pillars of attraction, which of course, boys, is sexual tension? How do I deploy that? Well, here's one method. I teach a myriad of methods for how to do that in my 3-month coaching program, but here's a perfect method. You want to talk about kissing? You jokingly say, hey, there's something you should know about me. What's that? From 2017 to 2019 or whatever, 2020, 2022, whatever you want to pick. I was the chancellor or the president of Kissing University. She's going to laugh. She's going to know it's bullshit, hopefully, unless she's really thick-headed, a complete canyon mule. Usually they know you're joking, especially if you do this in person and you give a little smile and a wink, right? It's a joke. So she's like, oh, really? And you say, yes, we only accepted the most elite kissers in the United States. Do you think you have what it takes to get into such a prestigious university? Now, obviously, boys, I can't predict what she's going to say at this point. It could go a myriad of different directions, but most of the time she's going to say yes. And you say, oh, really? Why is that? Why is that? Why are you able to get into Kissing University? Now she's going to explain herself. Well, I'm really good at kissing. I use a lot of passion. I use a lot of tongue. Whatever it is that she says, now you guys are talking about kissing. So you let that thread go on as long as you can comfortably do so without obviously overstaying your welcome, meaning milking it, making her get bored. You keep it going, and then at the end, you build intrigue by saying something to the effect of, all right, well, it sounds like you have what it takes, so perhaps we will initiate a test the next time we hang out. All right, so now you've done the Kissing University bit, you introduced it to her. Then when you guys are on the first date and you guys are connecting, you're feeling the vibe, you can say, so, hey, Sarah, it's time for your test to see if you can get into Kissing University. Then you guys make out, and then she's going to say, so did I make it? And you say, I'll compile your grade and I'll get back to you about that. Now you go home, you guys are texting a little bit, and then the next day you're like, so, hey, Sarah, I compiled your grade to see whether or not you get into Kissing University. And what I like to do, boys, and once again, I have to put a caveat on this. It's all about, is she interacting with it? Is she into it? Guys, I have had girls fucking lose their mind over this shit. So obviously I'm going to drag it out. I've done this for literally 4 days of a text conversation that I drag out, I make her wait a little bit. When she really wants to hear something, maybe I'll make her wait like 6 hours. You could really play a lot with this. But once again, You have to read the woman and dictate the way you do this based on her interactions. So what I do is I divide it into 4 categories. It's technique, passion, sexiness, and memorability. If you could spell memorability, you are a legend. You have made your ancestors proud. So once again, technique, passion, sexiness, memorability. So when she gets her grade, to which I'm going to text her, hey, your grade for Kissing University is in, I'm going to give her scores based on those 4 categories. If, again, she's really jiving with it, she's really interested in it, if she's kind of like ho-humming it, I'm not going to drag it out. But most girls, from my experience, man, they fucking jump at this. They go after it like a bass going after a lure, bro. They love this shit. And that's what separates me, I feel, from a lot of dating coaches, is I give you actual gambits, actual techniques. I tell you what to say. I was going through my list of gambits today, looking at them and being like, yeah, I should probably throw a gambit into the podcast. And I was like, yo, I have so many, most of which I've never even done on this podcast. So I take out a couple gems, throw them at you, show you what I can do. And that's why I feel that all my guys get the success they do. It's because I tell you what to say, when to say it. And not only that, I work on what's going on inside your head with NLP that you can experience if you would just sign up for the NLP Masterclass by clicking the link in the description below. So when you're going through these 4 categories, you give her a grade. Now here's the deal. You give her not an A+. You give her like a B+ or an A- in each category. Technique, it was a B+. Wasn't a C. You don't want to fucking tell her she got a C because then she'll get butthurt. Tell her she got like a B or a B+. Sexiness, usually I give an A because they get butthurt pretty bad about that. Passion, B+. Memorability, definitely an A-. Now here's the hook, boys. You say, so Sarah, your accumulative grade was a B+, and I recommend intense training to bring it up to an A+, which basically means I think we should kiss more to develop your skill so that perhaps you could get into Kissing University. Then if she asks, would I get into Kissing University? You say yes, but of course it will require more training to graduate as an A+ student, something like that. All right. So that's what you do before you've kissed her, and to line up the first kiss. Then you guys kiss on the first date, and then you could text her after telling her about what her grade was. Now, for those of you boys who have already kissed a girl, you could roll this out literally right now after you listen to this podcast. And of course, after you grab your NLP Masterclass ticket, you legend. What you do is, so Sarah, ... Yes, Mark, ... There's something you should know about me. What's that? From 2017 to 2019, I was the chancellor of Kissing University. Oh, you were, huh? Yes, and your grade is in. I did an analysis of your kissing, and you just run exactly what I just told you to run in the same way for a girl who you've already kissed. Your grade is in. It's divided into 4 parts: passion, sexiness, technique, memorability. Then you give her the grades that I told you about earlier. Give her like a B+ or an A-. Don't give her a D or an F, even if she kissed like your fucking grandma did. No, give her a decent grade and then say, I suggest rigorous practice and intensive training to get you up to an A+. She's going to laugh. It's going to build attraction. This is so much better than the, hey, how was your day today? Oh, it was cold, wasn't it? Do you like weather? All these boring ass conversations that most dudes have with women that make them masturbate in the corner in a fucking helmet because they couldn't get laid if they were in a Tijuana brothel with $100 bills strapped to their penis. I don't want that to be you, brother. So if your dick only gets wet in the shower, or if the sea donkeys that you're dating are not up to your standards, guys, you have to jump into this NLP Masterclass. This is your last chance. I'm probably not going to do another one of these. I'm just being honest. And a masterclass is a 2-hour event where we meet on Zoom. You could be completely anonymous, and I'm going to walk you through a series of my best NLP protocols to, again, remove belief systems, remove traumas, and instill massive confidence. You could be anonymous. You don't have to share what you're working on. This is me, you, and a small group of other dudes working on the shit that you need to work on to become attractive to women. And listen, boys, if you don't sign up, I don't understand why you wouldn't, but if you don't worry. My feelings regenerate at twice the speed of a normal human being, so it's going to be fine. But honestly, boys, if you want to get better with women, if you're listening to this podcast, I just don't understand why you wouldn't do this. And if you can't attend the event, because honestly, a lot are sold out and we only have a few tickets left, you still get a recording of it. And you could do it on your own time, which honestly is almost as good as being there. I'll buy the program back from you if you don't like it. I just don't understand why some of you aren't pulling the trigger on this. It's $97. What's the big deal? And I'll give you a refund if you don't love it. No risk. Get your ticket today by clicking the link in the description below. Gentlemen, I hope this Kissing University Gambit is going to work as well for you as it has for me, because again, it's all about building intrigue. It's all about building attraction. It's ramping up her emotions, giving her a world-class experience so that she gets more and more attracted to you. And the chances of her going to find that experience in a different dude go down lower and lower and lower. This is how to keep a woman. This is how to get lots of women. This is how to be that tier 1 attractive dude that I want all you guys to be. It's about deploying gambits. It's about deploying frame control. It's about doing NLP so you could feel like a fucking champion, and then girls will flock to you like you never thought possible. Click the link in the description below to grab your masterclass ticket now. Gentlemen, I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.